I feel like this fragrance game, you're always trying to find or fill an empty void. Like when you find a fragrance as good as Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé, whatever the hell it's called, that whiskey delicious sex magnet of a fragrance is gonna be hard to replace when you put it in the same bubble of other Givenchy fragrances. There are some massively solid ones, but they recently dropped another fragrance, which is that Gentleman's Society, which I don't think it's gonna match up to the Privé, but I'm absolutely curious to see if they can just knock 2 for 2 out of the park. But I'm a bit pessimistic about this outcome. So let's roll my mother music so we can check out Givenchy Society.
We're all alone, yeah, let's friends on the south side in case you cared. Out of all your friends, I wanna be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Today's video is sponsored by Max Aroma. I did request this particular fragrance because it just came out a couple months ago or a month ago or something along that space. I saw it on FṛαΓΡα̈ḵ즙 that it came out in 2023 and it's a fragrance I have not smelled. So I said, let's give it a shot. Now, truth be told, I did look up the notes prior to requesting this particular fragrance and the notes seem only kind of interesting. So in looking up the notes, there was one particular note that did catch my attention that I thought would be very interesting in this scent profile, which is Palo Santo. Let me give you the note breakdown before we smell this joint. It's cardamom, sage, French narcissus, Haitian vetiver, Madagascar vetiver, vanilla, Palo Santo, and cedar. I have this thing with Palo Santo, it just smells very holy to me, and something about it just is weirdly comforting to me. I know it sounds a little bit witchcrafty and possibly satanic, sacrificing chickens in the basement of a building while you're doing the laundry, going to the butcher shop, buying a tongue, stabbing it with rusted nails just to keep people shut. That's how Palo Santo makes me feel. So let's jump right into Givenchy Society and see what this joint is about. I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in checking this joint out. It's up to you. Here's what the presentation looks like. It has like a little 3D dimensional raised hard piece of it. So it keeps the same aesthetic as the other Givenchy fragrances. So if you're a Givenchy collector, you have a nice aesthetic flow in your lineup. But does it keep the same energy as far as fragrance is concerned as it being sexy? Only one way to find out, my guy. I hope this doesn't suck. Very interesting. Very light on paper. It's very light on paper. Something here spoke to me like instantly. Instantly. Something here is absolutely talking to me in the way that I'm getting goose pimples like almost immediately. I feel them coming. I tell you, it's something about Palo Santo scent. Move me, bro. This feels very light on paper and I'm going on skin right now, but something about this has this addictive quality to me and I'm feeling like I'm being possessed. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds weird. Like I'm getting spinal goosebumps and shit from this scent profile. However, like I don't want to jump out and be like, this is absolutely amazing, this is the best shit I've ever heard, but I'm getting this visceral, goosebumpy, like, am I getting herpes what is going on? Let me just take a breather. Something about Palo Santo, I'm telling you, bro, somebody made una brujería o algo. I feel like this is, All right, I'm gonna go on skin with this joint because something about this piece is really speaking to me in a way that I really like. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't find anything crazy, jaw-dropping, amazing, or whatever off the test strip, but we're gonna see what kind of element this shit is off skin, because it's doing something to me. Well, it did something to me a second ago. You know, it comes off a little light on the opening, but it is a really nice fragrance. Like, it's very my style. The sage and the cardamom really pop up top, but that Palo Santo is definitely doing something, giving that smoky life, that spiritual essence, but still keeping that designer mass appeal quality about it. And it also doesn't feel like it's singular to one season. It has a lot of versatility and vibe on this shit that I'm kind of digging in the air right now. This is doing something for me. I didn't get a full-blown goose pimple yet, but it's doing something to me internal, which it's hard to explain. The variety of vetivers here, I feel like it's very distinctive. Like, you don't get your traditional dry herbal vetiver vibe. You're getting this creamy, woody, herbalish vibe with this underlying subtle smoke factor, but it isn't your traditional incensey smoke. It's that Palo Santo, that green, that mystery, yet with this cardamom sweetness and nuttiness. I like this fragrance. I really like this fragrance. But it has like no balls off of my skin. At least with that single spray, doesn't feel like it's a projection beast or it's gonna be like a super long lasting scent. The scent profile itself is beautiful off of my skin. It's just developing into something that absolutely works off my skin, but feels like it has zero performance. Like it doesn't have that cloud bubble around me. Granted, it was just, it was just one spray. I like it so much that I wanna really like, how I would put it, let's do like this is how I would do it. I would do like a 3-year sprayer on the arm, generally spray it out or whatever. I wanna give it a second to see if I get something in the air, which I do right now, but it isn't crazy. But I also don't need beast mode fragrances. Sometimes they're just a little bit too much. You just want something to hit and just hit right and just catch that little wind and people notice you around. And to add to that, it also feels like a fragrance that you can spray on your clothes and will actually wash off, like not stay there on that favorite sweater for 6 months and then you can't put any other fragrance on top of it. It's not a projection beast at all. It's actually very like subpar when it comes to the sillage and performance base. At least that's what I'm getting. Maybe others can smell it around you. That could absolutely be the case, but I have to give you my real deal and it doesn't feel like it's crazy popping off the skin. The scent profile itself though has a mysterious sexy element that for me works. I'm a Palo Santo fan, so maybe that's it, but it's a little bit more than that. There's a creaminess, there's a woodiness, there's the multiple vetivers, which you can absolutely pinpoint if you're in this fragrance space. There's something here that absolutely moves me, but it has no performance or balls. Something about this shit just works very well off of my skin. It smells awesome. Like I wouldn't mind spraying this shit like 10 times knowing that it has no balls off of my skin, but I freaking like this shit. Yeah, this is gonna be a full ball spray. Yeah, it has suspect sillage, but this scent works off of my skin. And again, it didn't give me full goose pimples, but what I'm feeling in like my spine, unless I'm going through nerve damage as we speak, I like this shit. I like it. I'm so confused why I like it. I like what I like. This is gonna be a ball spray. I mean, I'm legit trying to talk myself out of it not being a ball spray. Like, it's a ball sprayer. I'm getting the spine tingles. Something about it smells fucking beautiful. The Palo Santo here is creamy, it's sexy, it's nutty, it's herbal, it's woody. It has to be a ball sprayer. It just sucks on the sillage. Barely anything. If there's a way for you to test it out, test it out. If the department stores have them already, definitely go spray it on yourself to see if it's your type of energy. For me, there's no pop of sillage off the skin. It becomes very skin scenty from jump, but the actual scent itself, for me, works beautifully. So, listen, I only keep it 1,000. Shout out to Max Roman for sponsoring today's video and sending this joint by request. I will put a link in the description. I like the scent very much. It has no balls. I mean, it's fucking nice. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is. Biggest in the game. Smooches.
Cubaknow. What's fresh? Who's best? Wanna know who's gonna pass the test? Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, Motorola start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.